Okay guys, welcome. This is Leroy Brown here at my drawing table, and I just wanted to do a quick display of my recent comics haul. Actually, this afternoon I just went to Bedrock City Comics, my favorite comic book store where I live, and I actually ended up buying a stack of comics. And now, I'm not usually a big comics hound. I know you would think that I would be, but I'm really not. I mean, I do have a lot of comics, don't get me wrong. But recently I have not been buying a lot of comics simply because, well, you know, there's not a lot of comics that I like that come out. But anyway, I went to the store today with the deliberate sort of intent. I'm going to show you that one first. Deliberate intent of getting a bunch of recent comics because I want to see sort of what's out there. But I was very specific about what I got simply because the mainstream titles I kind of steer away from because I think I'll make a whole nother video about this, but I think mainstream comics suffer from what I call the storyboard syndrome. They're very writer driven, and essentially what they feel like is that they're basically stories that are written to be illustrated by somebody. So the art seems to be secondary, and the storyboard and the comics all look the same. They just look like storyboards. They look like enhanced storyboards. And that's not what I'm looking for in a comic book, because I'm looking for the art. I'm an artist. I have more of a European sensibility when it comes to that. So I'm looking for comics that have good art. In any case, so this is what I came up with today. These are free, so I grabbed them. That's backwards in the manga style, so it starts from the back. I have no idea, but I do like mangas simply because as reference, their use of tone is really insane. They're just like, yeah, I don't like all this creepy shit, excuse me, but the use of tone is always really insane in mangas, especially black and white ones, so that's kind of cool. Never heard of these titles. I've never heard of any of these titles. Okay, this is another one, free one, Wonderbound. I'm a little bit, yeah, this doesn't look great right from the cover already. Oof, that's very strange. I don't like that layout. And this is, again, suffers from, you know, storyboard syndrome. It's like the drawings have absolutely no personality. It's just the same old blah. So, not into it. Another free comic, Fish Flies. Does not look promising, although the art looks a little bit better. And I'll just say that at least this looks like an artist has spent time developing his style and imparted his style or her style. Who's the artist? Jeff Lemire. So this is an author. Yeah, and you can tell right away, like, an author, you know, will really, I consider myself an author, because an auteur, or whatever you want to call it, a writer, artist, because they will impart their style and the art, and the story will serve the art, not the other way around. I think that 90% of comic books today, the art serves the story. In other words, the art is secondary to the story, is what I'm trying to say. And I don't like that. I think that's a big mistake. I think that, you know, comics are a hybrid art form. It's a hybrid medium. I get that. But the story is not everything. And I think, unfortunately, and today in America, in American comics, they're seen as enhanced or glorified storyboards because these writers have really taken over. And, you know, they're all aspirational writers. They want to get picked up by Hollywood or something like that. and I'm not into that. So I like the style here. I like that there's I haven't read the story. I've never heard of this before, but I like the style already because it's you know, an artist-driven comic book, and I like that. So good find, number one, and it was free, so that's great. Okay, here's a comic book called Rare Flavors. It is from Boom Studios, which is interesting. Boom is putting out some interesting stuff. It's spelt the British way, Flavors. So this might not be an American comic. But it does, wow, there's a, wow. When you look at the credits page on a comic book and it's got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people, my goodness, that's frightening. Wow. Okay, so the bottom ones are design and logo. So that's which logo? That logo, Rare Flavors. Okay. Assistant editor and editor. Okay, whatever. Cover, an unlockable cover by Felipe Andrade, and I think Felipe Andrade is one of the creators, obviously, because Rare Flavors is created by Ram V and Felipe Andrade. And I don't know if it's Ram V or Ram 5, but it's written by Ram 5. Now, look, his name is on top, right? So again, this whole writer-driven paradigm where the art is secondary to the writing. I just don't like that. But I thought the art was fairly interesting, but now I'm starting to think it's not that interesting. Also, the story is all kind of creepy. But, okay, we'll see. We'll see. It says that it was created by Rare Flavors, created by Ram V and Felipe Andrade. Okay, so they're a team. Ines Amaro has made the colors, and lettering is by World Design. Okay. Well, I'm not into writer-driven stuff. I should have checked that before buying the book, but I'll read it and I'll give you some feedback. I don't think the art's that great, to be honest. It is kind of interesting, a little bit unusual, a little bit un-American style, so I like that. Now this one, I like the color, the cover. I'm sorry, it's an Image comic, Petrol Head. I like the concept. I have no idea what it is. Pedal to the metal. Yeah. Story by Rob Williams. Of course, the writer is first. Okay, art, letters, graphic design by Pi Par. I guess that's a person with 2 last names. Yeah, the art's cool. I like this mecha droid look. That's kind of cool. The humans, not so much. That's not great. They just look kind of blah. Wow, that's cool. Now that is a cool page. Wow, right on. Wow, that is a nice splash page. Rock and roll. Right on. Wow. All right, I look forward to reading this. Petrolhead. I like it. All right, here's another one. Pine and Merrimack. Okay, I liked the painted color. It looks like it's painted. Probably digitally painted, but still. And again, written by and illustrated by. Okay, so this is where this is my problem. So this video is turning into my beef about current day comics. And these are indie comics. Again, Boom Studios. A comic book is not illustrated. It's not an illustrated book, yeah? A comic book is a hybrid medium that should be driven by the art. Not a story written by Kyle Starks and illustrated by Fran Gallan. So, again, disappointing. The art, I picked it up because I really did a quick run through and I was kind of interested in the art. There's this painterly style. It's not bad. It's a photographic painting, so she's doing a lot of Fran, I imagine the woman, she's doing a lot of digital sort of, scanning and then painting or treating it to make it look painted. And the characters, I guess she does the characters. That's sort of painted, you can tell. So the style's not bad. I have to say that the style is interesting. The style is interesting. Way to go. I enjoy that. So I'll read this and give you some feedback. Now this one's a weird one. This one is Mad Cave 10-year anniversary celebration. Mad Cave, I guess, is an indie publisher. MadCaveStudios.com. Okay. And that's why I picked it up, because this does look very indie, and I like the style in the style. First of all, I like the two-tone aspect of it. When I was growing up, in Europe especially, there was a lot of sort of two-tone graphics, comic books, because it was cheaper. You print with one color versus four. It's a lot cheaper. So I liked it. I was attracted to the two-tone aspect of it. And of course, really, it's only one color. It's blue, and there's toning. There's toning here, there's toning there, toning there. And there's a lot of ink, which I like. It's truly hand drawn. You can tell it's inked. I would imagine this is actually inked on paper. It does not look like this is digital. I could be wrong now. Nowadays, it's hard to tell, but this does look like it was done by hand. I mean, on paper is what I'm trying to say. But there's a lot of toning. So that toning obviously would have been done on a computer, but there's a lot of toning, and I like that. I like the style. I don't think it's particularly super attractive in terms of what's going on, and sort of the stories. We'll get into that later, some other time. But the art style, I like the two-tone aspect of it a lot, because that's something I've really been in love with since I was a kid, and something I would like to even maybe do on one of my books. So that's some books there. Here's another book that I grabbed because I like the cover. It's sort of designy. It's very designy, and I like it. Let's see, is it a full page? No, it's just the front. And the title's on the back, Hunt for the Skinwalker. It's another Boom Studios. Now the art inside there, kind of storyboardish. Yeah, that's very storyboardish. Yeah, probably not great. Very storyboardish, and not, that's a really bad drawing of a truck. You're gonna do a pickup truck? Golly. Wow, come on, that's terrible. So anyway, bad art, good cover, unfortunately. All right, the Enfield Gang Massacre. Now, I don't like the sort of violent nature of a lot of these comic books, but I'll say this is an Image book. I do like the way this book feels. I like the cover. It's got a matte sheen on it. It's not glossy and shiny, like this one, Petrolhead, is, like a lot of digitally printed comics are. This one has got a nice matte sheen on it, and I like the cover. That's a very nice drawing. The back is just type. Okay. Now, also, look at that two-tone. Well, that's a 3-color job: black, pink, and blue. But I like that. And also, it's newsprint, folks. I love newsprint. Look at how this looks. This looks great. This also looks like it was inked on paper. It's very inky, which I like a lot. No borders on the panels, so the panels are free floating, which is a stylistic approach that's interesting. It's full page splash, double page splash, very nice. A lot of ink, I like that. And this, ooh, this flat newsprint, boy, and look at those colors. It's real close attention paid to these colors. This color treatment, I gotta say, bravo. That's really nice. Real old-fashioned style. Chris Condon, Jacob Phillips. I don't know who's the writer. Probably Chris. Written by Chris. Why are the writers always at the top? That's an American thing that really rankles me. And also, why is color spelled C-O-U-R? L-O-U-R. Is Image a British magazine company now? Whatever. Okay. Cyberpunk. Dark Horse. I have not picked up a Dark Horse comic in a long time. And I used to like Dark Horse. And this looked really funny. I like the humor in it. I like, finally, some humor. Yes. Cyberpunk. I also like the title. So I like this. Now, the art also looks pretty cool. I like the art. It's and it's got some really humorous stuff going on. Very sort of almost 80s looking stuff. This I'll enjoy. Again, story, the guys first, Bartos, Stybor, and art and colors, Jack Overbelka. Well, that's cool. I like that. That's really cool. That's cool. Great drawing. Cool. Well, Image of our Dark Horse or Boom or whoever, if I ever make a book with you guys, my name's going to be first. I don't care who wrote it. All right. Now, this is a mainstream comic that I got, and as the girl at the counter said, it's a Marvel book, Stormbreakers. The reason I got it is because the cover is cool, and yes, the cover is pretty cool. Digital, clearly, but I like the fade on the taxis and then the drawing on top. It's well done. That's nice, nicely designed. Nicely designed with the stars, and I love these laser effects. That's one thing that the mainstream comic guys, in terms of coloring, they got this thing going on that is really good with the laser effects. And so that's why I got this one. I like the digital laser effects. It's a mainstream comic, that way I can contrast and compare, and boy, you got some real intense splash pages there, which is cool, especially with the laser effects. I love these laser effects. So that's, wow, look at that. That's, there's something to be said about this. And this art is, of course, this is production art. Artist Francisco Mortarino, but color artist is Federico Blee. So yeah, Francisco Federico have teamed up here to do some pretty eye-catching stuff, and I would say that's nice. That's nice. So I'll give some feedback on the stories and let these writers know what I think of their efforts of, monopolizing the spotlight and taking over the comic book medium as if it was a medium that they invented, even though it was invented by artists, but that's okay. I will give you some feedback, my dear friend writers. Now, and then finally I bought because today was half price on back issues. And this is from, this is way back. The Wayback Machine, and it was only $3, so it was 50% off. So I got it for $1.50. You can't beat that. Yeah, it's probably a 6.0 or 6.5, but who cares? This is awesome, and it looks like it's a Gil Kane cover. let's take a look. And I got a nice bag, and it's in good shape. It's in good shape. This is a 6.5, maybe even a 7. Ah, that smell. Oh, guys, that smells like the 70s. 1975. Wow. John Buscema, artist. So not bad. But it looks like the cover was Gil Kane. But there's no signature on the cover. He might have been, you know, still kind of young at the time. 1975. I don't think Buscema, I don't know how to pronounce his name, did the cover. It does not look like his art. Buscema, I know Buscema's art for being very sort of, the bodies are always out of proportion. Like the legs are like 50 feet long, and then the head is tiny. That's just the way he always drew like that. Like the head is super tiny, but like the arm is fatter than the head, you know. Oops, I just fucked up my book. Okay, so it's a 6.0 now. Like, you know, look how long that leg is. And then there's a tiny head on top. Steve, it's not Steve Buscemi. It's John Buscema. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry. But look at that. Ridiculous, right? Like that body is like completely, look at that leg. Yeah. So I know that he did not do this cover. It's because Gil Kane is a lot more tight. And this looks like Gil Kane, especially that face. I recognize his style. So that's why I bought this book, simply because of the cover by Gil Kane. I like Gil Kane a lot. Yeah, the art in this is not great, but it smells great. Gosh. Smells like the 70s. And I do like some of these effects. Like that's kind of cool. Really nice tone in here. Yeah, this is a nice panel. Nice toning going on here. And so there's good stuff in here. I always like the old ads as well. So that's pretty much it, my friends. And we end with a 1975 classic. So I will report back to you once I read these comics. I hope you enjoyed this, and thanks for tuning in. See you later.